Godama A2 Ghee for my daily nutritional needs. Keeps my heart healthy. I choose Godama A2 Ghee.
ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಟ್ಟ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ 24x7. ಇದು ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದ ಪ್ರತಿಬಿಂಬ.
ಗ್ರಾಹಕರೇ ಹಾಗೂ MSME ಉದ್ಯಮಿಗಳೇ, ಆಗಿವೆಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಕ್ರಾನಿಕ್? ಆಗಬೇಡಿ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಕ್ರಾನಿಕ್. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ MSME ಟಾನಿಕ್. ನಾನು CASS ನಾಯಕ್. ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟಾನಿಕ್ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ 185ನೇ ಸಂಚಿಕೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಪ್ರಾಯೋಜಕತ್ವ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಹ ಪ್ರಾಯೋಜಕತ್ವ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಗೌಧಾಮ ಸಂಜೀವಿನಿ ಡೈರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮುನಿಯಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದರೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಂದಿನ ವಿಷಯ enhancing competitiveness of MSMEs, strategies and solutions. We are all aware MSMEs, they play vital role in contributing substantially for the employment, for the GDP as well as export of any economy. In this context, you are all aware on 27th June, it is a global MSME day. To commemorate this global MSMEs day, we have also conducted one topic, opportunities and challenges for MSMEs. So today we are discussing about enhancing the competitiveness of MSMEs. What are the strategies? What are the solutions? Today we have three resourceful resource persons, experts in banking as well as MSME field. First of all, I would like to introduce Mr. Ratish R. He is presently General Manager, Transaction Banking Department, Central Office NX, Union Bank of India. So his brief introduction, he started his banking career in 1984 itself, and he is a certified accountant of Indian Institute of Bankers also. He has 38 years of rich experience in banking, and he has worked in various branches and controlling offices specialized in MSME and industrial finance. He has worked during his tenure as a branch head as well as in various capacities until general manager in Ernakulam, Trivandrum, Mumbai IFB, Coimbatore IFB Industrial Finance Branch, Chennai Industrial Finance Branch, Head Office Credit Sanctions Department, CCPC Chandigarh, CCPC Kochi, MSME Pune, Head Office CRMD, so Panchakula, Mumbai Fort SAME. So after amalgamation of Corporation Bank with Union Bank of India, he worked as General Manager in Operations Department in Central Office, Mumbai also. Presently, as I already mentioned, he is working as General Manager in Union Bank of India, Transactions Banking Department. On behalf of all our viewers, I welcome Shri Ratish R to our this MSME show. We have one more resource person, Vasanta Shetty. Vasanta Shetty is already familiar to all our viewers. He is coming for the 7th time because whenever MSME program we conduct, Vasanta Shetty is always there. So he is specialized in MSME sector. He has 38 years of rich experience in various capacities, especially in credit and MSME portfolio itself, in prestigious Canara Bank, and he retired as AGM and region head of prestigious Founders Mangalore region of Canara Bank. Presently, he is a consultant or MSMEs also. On behalf of all our viewers, I welcome Sri Vasanta Shetty also to this show.
Thank you.
We have another young star, I don't tell youngster, young star, Sri Danish. Sri Danish, he has recently taken charge as region head. He is AGM and region head of Karnataka Bank, prestigious region, that is also Founders region in Mangalore. His jurisdiction comprises entire Dakshina Kannada district as well as entire state of Kerala, comprising of 82 branches, nearly 9,300 crores business is handling. He has also MSME exposure. He has 17 years rich experience in banking in various capacities as branch head also in Sikandrabad, Bangalore overseas branch, large corporate credit head office, and worked in various capacities is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad and Bangalore. His accomplishments, he was a MD club member for 2 times and he is expert in forex and credit. During his tenure as branch head of Bangalore overseas branch, the branch has crossed 1,000 crore advances portfolio also. Sri Danish, on behalf of all our viewers, you are also welcome to this show. Today, as I already mentioned, it is enhancing competitiveness of MSMEs, strategies and solutions. Before starting the event, we would like to wish on the occasion of various days. On 14th September, it is Vishwa Hindi Divas. ये विश्व हिंदी दिवस के प्रयुक्त हमारा समस्त वीक्षकों को विश्व हिंदी दिवस का शुभ कामनाएं. Hindi, it is official language of India, but it has not become still national language of India. So because of our federal structure, each state, they have their own mother tongue or language, but we don't have our national language as it is. But central government is trying as Hindi as our national language, as there are majority of Hindi speaking people in India. So, but one thing I would like to say, we have to learn our mother tongue, we have to learn our state language, but along with English, if you know Hindi also, we can, our personality can still develop. More and more languages we learn, more and more exposure and more scope either for business or for employment will be there. So on behalf of this Vishwa Hindi Divas, I congratulate all the viewers. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ವಿಶ್ವಕರ್ಮ ಜಯಂತಿ. ಸೊ ವಿಶ್ವಕರ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ he is a architect of the universe. So on behalf of all the viewers, and let us pray our respect to Lord Vishwakarma. He is the architect of the universe also. ವಿಶ್ವಕರ್ಮ ಜಯಂತಿಯ ಪ್ರಯುಕ್ತ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೂ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎಸ್ಟರ್ಡೇ ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಡೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಅವೇರ್ ಅವರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಅಚ್ಚುಮೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ನಾಯಕ ಜನನಾಯಕ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ದಾಮೋದರ್ ದಾಸ್ ಮೋದಿ. ಇವರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ನಾಯಕಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ನಾಯಕರಾಗಿ ಮೂಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು 72ನೇ ಹುಟ್ಟುಹಬ್ಬವನ್ನು ಅನೇಕ ಸೇವಾ ಮೂಲಕ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಸೇವಕ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ದೇಶದಾದ್ಯಂತ ಅನೇಕ ಸೇವೆ, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಡೊನೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆ 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 ಚಾರಿಟಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಮ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಯವರ ಹುಟ್ಟುಹಬ್ಬವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ ಆಚರಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸಮಸ್ತ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಯವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಮಸ್ತ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುಹಬ್ಬದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಹಾಗೆ MSME, ಎನ್ಹ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ MSME ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್. ಈ MSME ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಕ್ಷಿಪ್ತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಬಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸುವ. The United Nations General Assembly declared 27th June as World MSME Day. So, MSMEs across the globe, they account for 90% of the businesses, 60 to 70% of employment, and nearly 50% of GDP worldwide. So, to commemorate this contribution of MSMEs, World MSME Day is celebrated on 27th June to raise awareness of the tremendous contributions of micro, small and medium enterprises to achieve sustainable development goals. The theme of this year is Key to Inclusive and Sustainable Recovery. That is the theme of International MSME Day. It is of 21, and theme of MSME Day 2022 is Resilience and Rebuilding MSMEs for Sustainable Development. So, in addition to this, as I already mentioned, MSMEs across the globe, their contribution. Now let's come to India. Almost 50% of the exports in India, it is contributed from MSME sector. So MSMEs contribute 30% of GDP of our nation. Out of that, 24.63% is service enterprises, and remaining 6.11% is manufacturing enterprises. So composition of major sectors in which Indian MSMEs operate. So it is also very interesting. Retail trade sector is 40%. That's why recently retail trade has also been brought under the ambit of MSME. So then manufacturing of apparel, dressing and dyeing, it is 9%. Then manufacture of food products and beverages 7%. Other services 6%. And hotels and restaurants only 4%. We need to increase this. Okay. Then sale of maintenance and repairs of motorcycles and retail sale of automotive fuel, it is 4%. Furniture and MEC manufacturing 3%. Fabricated metal products except machinery and equipment 2%. Textile manufacturing 2%. Others 19%. So sector wise Indian GDP also we need to mention. Agriculture and allied sector, that is contributing 20.19% of our GDP. Then mining and quarrying 1.63%. Manufacturing, it is 14.43%. Electricity, gas, water supply and other utilities 2.7%. Construction 7.16%. Public administration, defense and other services 15.42%. Financial real estate and professional services and banks also come under that. That is 22.05%. Trade, hotels, transport, communication, etc. 16.42%. They are contributing for the GDP of our country. Nearly 111 million jobs are employed in MSME sector, and more than 8,000 products are being produced in MSME sector also. With this small note, let us wish all the MSME entrepreneurs on this occasion all the best for making our nation proud with their contribution. Now first I would like to just make a mention about the role of MSME sector in growth of economy. Mr. Ratish, regarding you have worked throughout in industrial finance and MSME sector. What is the contribution and what is the role of MSMEs in growth of our economy?
Yeah, thank you, Naik Ma'am. This has been a very good channel, and you have been providing human service to MSMEs. I would appreciate and congratulate you for doing this for such a long time, and this being the 185th episode.
Thank you.
Now, coming back to the question which you have raised, the MSMEs, they are the driving force behind the large units. When we see the large units which are manufacturing large machine parts or anything of that sort, the MSMEs play a very critical role as the supplier of critical components. These components, or which are the feeder industries, they are called like that. They provide the valuable inputs just in time for the large unit. We take for example Maruti Udyog Limited. They don't manufacture from nut to the other engine parts.
They do assembly.
They do the critical things as well as the assembly part, and these are all coming into the production line in time so that the production goes unhindered. So that is the role played by MSMEs, whether it is automotive. Now, as the government has declared so many areas which are important for the economy, for the country, and also for the industrial establishments. For example, it is now open, defense sector is also open for manufacturing and industrial units. Now, if we look at pharmaceutical, automotive, defense, agricultural inputs, implements, fishing, then relatively into space research, components for rockets are now being manufactured by private industries. MSMEs play a great role. So when we, having said all these things, it is critically important that MSMEs rise to the level and ensure that the quality of the products made by them reach the desired level. It reaches the expectation of the larger industries which are taking from them, and that the components stand the test of time and the quality, and these add to the GDP of the country, and at the same time the MSMEs create large sort of employment opportunities for the skilled and unskilled labor.
The gist of your answer is, small drops of water makes a mighty ocean. In Sanskrit also one Subhashita is there. Akashat patitam toyam yatagachyati sagaram sarvadevo namaskaram keshavam pratigachyati. Akashat patitam toyam, from the sky every drop of water, ultimately it will go to river. All rivers join the sea. Sarvadevo namaskaram keshavam pratigachyati. We have various religions, various caste, creed, community. Ultimately, God is only one. Like that, all MSMEs, they have to join together to strengthen even large-scale industries also. Now, our Vasant Shetty, you were in our Canara Bank for the last 38 years. Now also you are a consultant for MSMEs also. With effect from 1st July 2020, there is a sea change in the definition of MSMEs by widening the base.
Yeah.
Can you just brief
Yes.
what it is?
Yeah, during this COVID time, Atmanirbhar Bharat, MSME definition has been changed to benefit the MSME segment. First, earlier there was service sector and manufacturing sector, and this bifurcation was removed, and from 1/7/2020, government has, this finance ministry has made a single definition: investment in plant and machinery and equipment up to rupees 1 crore, and turnover limit up to rupees 5 crore is micro enterprises. Investment in plant and machinery up to rupees 10 crore, and and equipment also, and a turnover limit up to rupees 50 crores is treated
Small.
as a small enterprises. Simultaneously, investment in plant and machinery equipment up to a limit of 50 crores and turnover limit up to 250 crores is treated as a medium enterprises. So this definition has helped. Accordingly, many MSMEs which are in non-priority has come to the priority sector, and so many benefits, whatever earlier these people are not enjoying, they could get the benefit of this revised definition. So there is a sea change during this Atmanirbhar Bharat announced by the finance minister.
One thing I would like to mention, earlier there was two categories
Yes.
in definition. One is
Manufacturing
in services and another
in
manufacturing. Now they have done away with this
This.
bifurcation. Now service sector and manufacturing
Manufacturing
sector is combined, and they have taken investment as well as turnover together.
Yeah.
Now, why this definition is broadened? What is the advantage of this broadening of the definition from the point of view of MSME entrepreneurs? Can you just mention?
Good morning, all the viewers. Broadening, earlier it was only on the investment criteria, investment in plant and machinery. Some of the sectors in MSME are capital intensive, but the turnover will not be to that level. So they will be excluded, and those benefits will not be, the government incentives or the benefits will not reach the proper category of MSMEs. Hence, the combination of capital along with the turnover is helped many MSMEs to come under the ambit of the government benefits.
So it is very nice. Now it is not or, it is and. Correct? No?
Yes.
Even the investment is very small, even the turnover is very high.
Yeah, yeah.
Still that definition they
Yeah.
are protected.
Yes.
That is the advantage.
One more
of,
thing which I would like to mention here is many of the MSME units, they were restricting their growth,
correct.
fearing that they may go out of the
Correct,
purview of
correct.
MSME.
Correct.
So their competitiveness was getting adversely affected. They were restricting investment in plant and machinery or development, whatever it is, fearing that they will lose the MSME tag. That has been done away with, which is a major step taken by the government, and large number of units will come under this, and they will be enabled to compete in the international market. That advantage is also there.
Yes, very nice. Our Vasant Shetty. Now this participation of banks
Yeah.
in credit delivery and credit facilities
Yeah.
for MSMEs.
Yes.
Broadly how it is and how it is advantageous to bankers also as well as for
Yeah.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah, there are a lot of schemes. Various different banks have different type of schemes, but all schemes are very competitive interest rate, and many banks have started MSME branches as well as MSME Saral or Sulabs in different. All expertise persons are put in these MSME branches. See, as per the government guidelines, branches having more than 60% of exposure to MSME, they are categorized as a separate MSME branches, and in regional level or zonal level or head office level also, there are separate MSME wings or MSME Sarals or Sulabs. So the some expertise is put on that place, and whatever the credit delivery is very fast. If a branch people doesn't, some in cases they lack some this knowledge and all, but these Sulabs or Sarals, they are having very skilled people, and that credit delivery is very fast, and there is also time limit for disposal of the MSME proposals also, but there is lot of monitoring system is there, and people will get immediate sanction and all through with the help of this MSME branches or MSME Sarals or MSME wings.
Now yours is a private sector bank. Normally public sector banks, government will monitor more. Of course, all the banks are monitored by RBI. Primary that priority sector lending target is given to all the banks uniformly, whether it is a private or a public sector banks. What are the initiatives taken in your bank as a private sector bank for funding and promoting MSME sector?
Now there are broadly two things are there. One is during the COVID, PM Swanidhi scheme has come for the very minute, the street vendors financing and all. They were till now they were in the informal sector without any proper papers or the records. So through this scheme we could finance all the street vendors, and the repayment also is very smooth from those street vendors. They could create their even CIBIL history can be created through that financing. Secondly, CGTMS scheme is there for up to 200 lakhs of
Lakhs.
CGTMS scheme is there for MSME units. So we are giving to the viable units, we are financing to them, and we have a digital loan sanction is there. Up to 1 crore of limit, the new to bank customer can approach us. We will upload the papers, and within
Digitally
yeah,
also.
digitally we are giving it. So we are focusing more on
Existing
digital.
customers up to 2 crore and new customers up to 1 crore.
1 crore.
Oh, very nice.
So,
Digital.
so the faster sanctions
Because
can
many
be
banks I have seen, applications will be there in only this car loan, housing loan, personal loan only.
True.
But MSME also you are digitalized.
Yeah, digital in principle
Very nice.
sanction will be given. After that,
Okay.
only this legal valuation process will go on, and it will help us in faster sanctions.
Okay, very nice. Now, this credit rating and interest rate regime, how MSMEs are protected?
It's a very good question, sir. The interest rate is one factor which determines the viability of any particular MSME unit or even large units. The interest rate is a function of the risk perception of the lender. So as and when the risk increases, the perception increases, the interest rate quoted also will stand increased. So instead of the bank, all banks have an internal rating mechanism on which the risk is assessed. At the same time, there are independent agencies, accredited agencies who do the rating. External rating is done, and it is like a independent person who is giving a unbiased
Up to normally
view.
earlier, up to 2 crore internal rating, then external rating was there.
Now
they have
SIDBI
revised up to 25
yeah,
crores.
even SIDBI has started the a rating mechanism. They have very subsidized rates for MSMEs, and they stand to benefit. Many doors open for the MSME units if the rating is available, and based on this independent rating, the internal rating also happens, and it is synchronized to arrive at the pricing model, and our bank provides the most competitive interest rates to the MSME units based on this factor.
Okay. Now we have one caller. Hello,
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನಾ ರಾಮರಾವ್ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು.
ರಾಮರಾಯರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಅದೇ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನನ್ನ
ನಿಮ್ಗೆ
ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ
ನಿನ್ನೆ
ಅಂದ್ರೆ-
ವಿಶ್ವಕರ್ಮ ಜಯಂತಿ ಇತ್ತು. ವಿಶ್ವಕರ್ಮ ಜಯಂತಿಯ ಪ್ರಯುಕ್ತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಶುಭಾಶಯ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ.
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಸರ್. ತಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು.
ಹಾ.
ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ.
ಹಾ.
Since it is a Karnataka Bank Business Tonic program, my question is, in the Chamber of Commerce June 2022 issue, there is an advertisement of Karnataka Bank MSME scheme, empowering our customers with digital loan experience. Here my question is whether the bank will show soft corner to borrowers who are ignorant of digital transactions. Next, I understand that through KVIC, Khadi and Village Industries Commission, government is encouraging Khadi dress materials. Please give details. Next, Mangalore is connected through road, rail, air and sea port. Transportation of goods facility is very good and remunerative. For a new MSME entrepreneurs, what are the products that can be manufactured which can be easily sent to all over India and abroad? Next, government guarantee, that is MSME through ECLGF, that is Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. Still some banks are asking borrowers to give mortgage of property. Why? My suggestion is that it is better to take LIC policy with reasonable premium as security. Next, what are your suggestions for marketing MSME products to earn more profit? Next, what is the role of KSFC, DIC, ECGC and Karnataka new industrial policy in giving helping hand to MSME? Next, according to Times of India today, our beloved Prime Minister has advised youth, skilling, reskilling, upskilling are the new mantra. What are your suggestions to face the challenges for young entrepreneurs? Next, once a borrower is always a borrower. Once the business people earn very good profit, is it necessary to borrow from banks by paying more interest? Please answer from income tax angle. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Our Ram Rao He is called as productive Ramrao also, because he is asking one productive question. Entire our topic is covered in this question also. Then he is a Mangalore Productivity Council president also, Karnataka Bank. Earlier he was in staff training college also. So he has asked only 8 questions today, but we will cover in our entire episode one by one. Now regarding, he has asked about digital loans, whether there is any soft corner to borrower, whether it is compulsory or it is one of the options. Can you just talk
No,
about
up to 1 crore it is compulsory, but the sir's question was with regard to the those people who are not compliance with the digital environment, how to do, that was his question.
Yeah.
So we are not asking the customers to, it is assisted journey. It is not that customers themselves are uploading the papers in the system and getting the in principle approval.
Okay.
It is an assisted journey. They have to approach the branch, or we will go to their doorstep with our tabs and all. Our sales officers will go and in principle will be given on the
in
spot.
rural area, how you will do?
Rural network connectivities will be there. We have the tab
No,
sales
your
officers.
marketing is in urban area, also rural area?
Rural areas is also there.
Okay.
Whenever the lead is entered by the rural area people, our sales officers will visit them
Very nice.
and collect all the required informations and upload into the system. The system will assess the limits and give the in principle approval. So that those customers will not be kept out of the purview. It is inclusive digitalization.
Very nice. Now our Union Bank of India General Manager, you were throughout in MSME and industrial finance. What are the initiatives of public sector banks in empowering MSMEs? Can you just highlight certain schemes?
Sir, the bank has very rightly identified the needs of MSME units or other industrial units. To help the MSME units, the bank has been in the forefront in providing this 59 minutes portal sanctions. The government's portal is there.
Many people say it is engagement takes place in 59 minutes.
Yeah.
But marriage will not take place even within 59
We
days
need to
also.
see both the sides. We need to see both the sides.
Okay.
We need these parameters were to be uploaded inside that. Due to various reasons or ignorance, some critical things would not have been done. Then we will have to call them. We will have to get that information, and the sanction happens. This is one. The other one which the government is providing is the Jan Samarth portal. There also limitations are not there. People can take the help of bankers also to put it inside the Jan Samarth portal. It is tracked, the applications are tracked, and the sanctions and disbursements happen very fast. Now coming to the bank side, the bank has made it, the digital journeys have been perfected, and we have the straight through process wherein the application can be done, and that can be done in the portal itself, the website itself. It goes inside, and then the sanctions and happens, the disbursements happen from the branch side, which is selected by the customer itself. Straight through processes there, review, renewal, sanction, all those things, straight through processes there. Plus, as and when the amount or the requirement increases, we have specified MSME branches. We have Saral centers which take care of the processing part and the documentation part to ease the process. We have the release mechanism happening from the branches selected by the customer or MSME branches, which will have trained people to assist the MSMEs who can understand their issues, and the entire process of unit visit, legal documentation, verification of title, if at all mortgage is involved. If mortgage is not there, in many of the cases up to 2 crores, we don't take any security. It is based on the CGTMSE cover, and above 2 crores when it moves into a higher trajectory borrowing, then the parameters, the risk parameters are evaluated, and we have a very soft approach to MSMEs, so that this is a prime area for the bank, and the bank also stands benefited. Probably you may be understanding, by lending more to priority sector, the bank is also benefited.
The very purpose of nationalization was to reach the unreached.
Yes.
So your intention is to reach because of financial inclusion,
yes,
and various schemes, you are reaching the unreached also.
Yes. Sir, I would also like to mention here that in places like Pune, Maharashtra, which is a highly advanced industrialized state, I have seen units, I have seen as MSME units manufacturing machine parts for German automotive industries. So that is the competitiveness. That is the what we call the quality of the product made by them. Critical gear components. Even for aircraft manufacturing companies, parts are manufactured there. I have seen that.
You may not believe, in Mangalore,
Yeah.
one unit is there, Karavali switch gears and Kushi Technocrats. They are supplying this, what you can say, some electronic component to space also,
Yeah.
ISRO.
That is what I was
I am
telling
very
you.
proud. And I have come across one, my hostel mate, one Mr. Radhakrishna, low loss transformers. He has invented low losses transformer. So Jayadeva Electricals in
So when
Bangalore.
we look into these aspects, the
Yes.
bank has been having a center for giving ideas to the customers where the demand is there, and such kind of customers who go to these kind of industries, the conceptualizing part, the bank has been helping them.
We have one more caller now. Hello.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು?
ಸರ್ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಹನುಮಂತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಸರ್.
ಹನುಮಂತಪ್ಪ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ?
ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಖಾಸಗಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸರ್ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟಾನಿಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕೂಡಲ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ SS ನಾಯಕ್ ಸರ್ಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಮರಾವ್ ಅವರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಂದು ಒಂದೇ ಜನರಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ,
ಈಗ ರಾಮ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈಗ ಹನುಮಂತ ಕೇಳುದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬಾಕಿ ಉಂಟು ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ಹೌದು ಸರ್. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಹಬ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಯುವ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲಗಳು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ತವೆ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗಳು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕನಾದ ತಯಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಾಲಗಳು ಸಿಗದಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಯುವ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನೀವು ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಅವರು ಯಾವ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ತಯಾರಾಗಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಾಲ ಸಿಕ್ಕ ಮುಂದೆ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯಾಗಿ ದೇಶದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಕಾರಣಭೂತರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ.
ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಉಂಟಾ
ಸರ್? ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇದೊಂದೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಸರ್ ನನ್ನಿಂದ.
ಓಕೆ. ದರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್, ಫೇಲ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಟು ಫೇಲ್. ಈಗ now after this China's problem, all are aware. Now we are trying to create India as a manufacturing hub, especially by PLI scheme and various your logistics, where we are integration, all these things, supply chain management. Through all these things we want to reduce the cost of production also. Suppose a new entrepreneur, he want to start some unit, how he should be prepared when he goes to bank or when he wants to set up the new unit?
ನ್ಯೂ ಎಂಟ್ರಪ್ರಿನರ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದ? ನಾನು
ಕನ್ನಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್
ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವರು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವರು he should be very specific what type of industry he is going to do and how he is carrying on the business there. So he has to prepare a proper project report. He himself can prepare, or with the assistance of chartered account, he has to prepare proper credit report, and he should have a margin. Whatever margin is there, promoter's margin. He should be in a position to bring the promoter's margin. With that,
if they don't have proper margin, there are some
schemes
margin money schemes are also there. Now PMEGP, they have revised in case of manufacturing up to 50 lakhs.
50 lakhs.
And Stand Up India schemes for SC/STs and lady entrepreneurs, even the margin can be reduced up to 15% also.
Margin can be reduced. Earlier NEF scheme was there. Now that scheme is
that was a beautiful scheme. National Equity Fund and Mahila Udyam Nidhi scheme. They have done away with that. I am surprised. I have also sent a lot of mails to Finance Minister and PM office to reintroduce that scheme.
Now venture capital is there, but venture capital anyway it is a little bit difficult. It is 26% of the project cost, subject to maximum of some 60 lakhs or something is there. But the bigger project, it is very difficult. It is repayable after a period of 7 years, after repayment of loan, like that. It is also for margin money, equity. And here, with all the papers, he had to move the particular bank and submit the proposal with all the document. Without, in many cases, what our sir has told already, many people, they are not submitting full-fledged proposals. So with half-baked information, bankers also cannot do anything. So with all the papers, he has to submit the proposal to the bank, and he has to contact the branch people when that proposal is going to materialize. He should follow up with the proposal. Otherwise, thing will not happen. Definitely, this will help the entrepreneur to get the sanction very fast, and he should be in a position to start the business very early.
This project report means many people,
Yeah.
they go to some consultant. From
Ready-made,
bank
yeah,
point of
ready-made
view,
some,
debt equity ratio minimum 1.5 to 2.
Yeah.
There, current ratio 1.33:1.
Yeah.
Debt equity ratio 2:1, 3:1 or 4:1. TOL by TNW, as per ratio they prepare. That is not
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. Many project report has
Actually,
even
project
even
viability report,
Yes.
he himself or she herself should be satisfied about the viability of the project.
Exactly, sir.
Here-
They should do the research.
Yeah.
They should
Now
do the
here
research.
now almost all banks that appraisal notes have changed because whatever note they are
And
placing
even
to-
I have seen in provisional balance sheet they give one figure, and
Yeah, yeah.
audited they give something else,
Yeah, yeah,
and projected they give ambitious
Yeah.
projections.
Yeah,
And
but
in
they are not achieving the
actual, there is
projection
not
afterwards.
been. So there is a saying, no,
And
lovers
always
may live in air,
whatever
whereas
opening
husband
stock in
and wife
previous
require
balance
solid
sheet
food.
and closing stock in the previous balance sheet and opening stock in the current balance sheet is not tallied. It is a common feature.
Now
So with
you
all-
are a region head of Karnataka Bank. You have worked in overseas branch also.
Yeah.
What are the common mistakes done by these entrepreneurs? Can you just identify and say?
Major thing is that, like what sir's question was earlier, Anamad sir question was with regard to the what he has to do. So China plus one policy is going on. So my suggestion is that, especially what I encountered during my tenure, is that those people who are not experienced into the fields, they are venturing into the fields. First, they should be little bit experienced in which field they are entering.
They should upskill.
They have to
Or they
upskill
should
themselves. They
work
should have
for
the
some
practical-
other companies 1 or 2
true,
years.
true. In that segment, if they
Experience,
work,
exposure.
experience. They simply come that we want the loan, then they don't have any experience. Of course, papers will be there. They may be confident, but experience sometimes it matters. Secondly, with what I am in the MSME, especially the problem is that they will sometimes divert the short-term working capitals to the long-term uses. That should not be done.
That even banks are also to some extent responsible, because see, in some banks there is a rule. Whenever you renew the working capital limit, along with that some standby credit they sanction.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that standby credit,
for capital expenditure. Yes.
in between, if any urgent
Yeah.
some equipment,
Up to the
generator,
limit.
all these to be availed, that sanction will be already there. Only he has to
Yeah.
submit the quotation and take the release.
Majority of the time it so happens that they will avail the project loans, but the entire cost of the project will not be included. So there will be left with some amounts.
Correct.
They will not include in the
There
project
are
cost.
soft costs, hard costs,
Yeah. So
hidden
that
costs.
and that incremental, this one will not be included. Like recently, it so happened that in COVID times and all, the steel prices and cement prices
Correct.
went through, and
Correct.
almost 40% cost escalation was
Escalation.
there. So that escalation also, it was not covered when submitting the project cost. So that time this diversion of
Working capital for acquiring fixed assets.
So
That
liquidity
is very
issues will come,
dangerous.
which will affect their regular workings.
And
So
buy
the-
big cars initially itself.
So the second is the diversion of funds.
Mm.
The diversion of funds should not be done at any cost. Business is separate, personal expenditure should be kept separate.
So very nice. Now we have seen many family-owned business enterprises. Sometimes it is a boon for them. Sometimes it is a curse for them also. Do you find any challenges in family-owned business enterprises?
Family owned, mostly it can be public limited companies as well as proprietary entities. The issue is many of these cases, they don't grow beyond a certain parameter. They keep things within their hold. They don't infuse, professionals who can run the company. Proper homework will not be there, and they're limited to certain activities which will stunt the growth of the unit. Number two is most of these units, what they make a mistake is they don't do proper research. They don't find out what is the area which they want to go. They go just like that. I'm not talking about the bigger companies which are family owned. Smaller units, since MSMEs are the particular
modernization, adopting change.
skill upgradation. The bank is giving loans for skill upgradation also, but then they don't do that. Proper homework is not done. What kind of risk factors can come into their realm is not identified by them. It can be internal as well as external. Proper succession planning is not there in place, and there can be infighting among the family members, which can kill the unit. When we look at the risk factors which is coming without proper planning, without proper
proprietorship balance
accounting,
sheets, capital
accounting is not
asset
there.
side.
Accounting is not there. They don't have proper accounting. Many of the cases they fear for the tax liability, and they don't bring all these things into the picture. Sir, I would always say compliance is the best policy. If compliance is not there, sooner or later the unit will face difficulties, and it will be very difficult for them to come out of it. So better compliance is one part, and then proper planning from all stages. If it is the investment part, the data mining for what activity has to be taken, what kind of raw material purchase has to be done, quality assurance of the raw material, what kind of labor should be there, what are the fixed costs, what are the variable costs, how the profit will come, whether the unit, if they borrow this much amount, whether they will be in a
break-even point?
Whether they will be in a position to pay the interest, because more debt also is a killing factor. So whether the interest can be borne by them, and ultimately whether there will be a profit to reflow into the business so that the business can grow. These factors are missing in many of the family-run businesses.
Sir, one more point here. Family-owned business, I have seen in many cases, they are doing inter-firm transfers, one firm to other firm. Without any reason, they are doing the transfer of funds. When bankers, they will point out this, they are not in a position to answer properly. This is the main.
That is financial discipline.
Yeah, financial discipline is not there.
Okay.
Here,
Now, these are the common mistakes done by entrepreneurs.
yes.
There are common mistakes done
Done
by
by the
bankers also.
also.
Can you just,
Definitely.
or government side also, can you just point out the thing?
Yeah, there are many mistakes. Even see when an application.
Timely disposal of credit,
That
is
very
more important.
Yeah, timely disposal.
But
is
here
very-
what happens is, during year end,
Yeah.
if during year end, bankers' first priority is for audit.
Audit.
Now audit, no much tension,
Yeah, tension
is
is not there.
But
Everything is computerized now.
But
Yes,
still why I
yes.
don't know.
Yeah.
So March end,
Yeah.
April, May, nothing will happen in bank.
Yeah. So
That is
here
the problem.
common mistake I will tell. Here what will happen when a proposal received at the counter of the branch people, they will not go through immediately. They will keep the proposal for some time. Afterwards, simply some queries, observations on the proposals. See, if the proposal
buying
is
time, some
buying
queries are-
time, some queries they will put. Anyway, borrower is not in a position to answer the queries immediately. He will take some time. By the time if it is given in the month of June, July, by the time September will come, immediately they will raise one more query.
Audited
September
balance.
provisional balance sheet and audited balance sheet. It will also, provisional or audited balance sheet
If
is not
October, then
easy.
again 6 monthly balance sheet.
Again December, one more quarterly balance sheet. These things, and afterwards also they are not collecting the information at a time. But means various tranches. So one time one person will ask something. Again, anyway, it is committee sanction. Now it will go to the committee, and committee will be different people are there. They may have different observations. They are also at a time they are not asking the customer. So the delay in transfer, delay in delivering of the credit is one of the main reason from the banker side.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Now, youngsters, many youngsters, especially other than commerce and other stream, they are
Yeah.
joining the bank.
Bank.
Engineers,
Mostly engineers.
MBAs and all. They are under the impression that they know everything.
Yes.
But when customers come to them, they have some preconceived notion, especially after computerization, digitization. Everything, if anybody comes, first they will check the CIBIL, then they will check all the things.
Yeah.
Earlier they used to go to the customer's place, they make a spot visit, they used to discuss with the customer, then they come to know whether this is viable or not. What is the proper problem in now youngsters, now branch heads? How you will overcome that?
No, we have to, whenever the borrowers comes, some borrowers straightly discuss that we are giving this much of security, we want this much of loan. It won't work like that. First thing is that purpose of the loan, for what purpose the loan is being asked.
Correct.
Next, what experience that entrepreneur is having in this segment. Of course, security is one of the issue, but it is not the sole criteria. It is the last one issue. And whenever the branch managers, we are following that, we are going to the unit visit needs to be done. It is a must requirement for in our bank, and in all the banks it is a must requirement. CIBIL needs to be gone through, but wherever the clarification needs to be sought with proper documents, if the party counters those negativities in the CIBIL report, it can be presented in a well-mannered, it can be still be considered.
Whether it is intentional or unintentional
sure.
or accidental.
So you should produce. Sometimes it so happens that borrower simply says that this is one story he will draft. This way it happened, so without any supporting documents. So bankers will not get that confidence if he supports its claim that these things happened due to this. Sometimes due to technical errors also it might happen from the banker's side or from the CIBIL reporting side and all. It so happens that from the wrong reporting will also be done. In some of the cases, the PAN card is being misutilized. Some of the cases, those things can be rectified through raising to the CIBIL, and wherever there is some due to health issues, some problems was there, so he can support with the supporting documents so that bankers will gain the confidence on the proposal and on the integrity of the customer.
Okay.
Sir,
Now
sir,
it is-
what in addition to the question which you have raised, though the new youngsters are there in the bank, there are always a mix of experienced people. For example, in our bank, the entire sanction is in a separate sanctioning hub called SARL or MLP, loan
But
points.
if it is sanctioning hub, the person is negative, all the branches will perform
Sir,
negative.
that is a $1 million question. So
Okay.
it cannot be uniform everywhere, maybe in some spots, but then again there are hand-holding people who will guide the youngsters, because the youngsters are the future. They need to be nurtured. They will come into the mainstream. It is always there. That support mechanism is there, and then the yes or no decision is taken at higher level, though these youngsters are processing it.
See, there is fair practices code of RBI for all MSME proposals.
Yes.
Within so much time, first acknowledgement of the proposal, second is disposal of the proposal within a time frame, third thing is reasons should be stated in case of decline.
Yes.
Even in case of decline, the permission from next higher authority is to be obtained, whether it is truly followed in all the financial institution or banks.
Definitely. And Ramrao just now run by the question with GCL also, that ECLS also, banks are asking mortgage. See, actually mortgage is not required.
No,
Some cases,
but
is it true?
that
It is
I
true.
would like to
Whatever he
differ
told,
in
true.
your view. What happened is, government has given that
Is it?
20% plus 10%
Yes.
or 20% plus 20% in case of hospitality, aviation, other sectors.
Yeah.
It is guaranteed by government. But
100%
it is to be extended by existing collateral.
Existing
securities
collaterals
also.
to be extended.
That
Additional-
government.
Additional collaterals are not required.
Yeah.
He told additional.
Additional.
But existing whatever securities are there, it should be continued.
Yeah.
Additional
The intention
securities-
of the central government
Yeah.
was to
Yeah.
facilitate liquidity in the system.
System,
But
correct.
many bankers, what they did, they sanctioned earlier one-time restructuring scheme was there.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
though there is
Yeah.
overdue, if it is
Yeah.
not SMA2 account,
Yeah.
they could have restructured under one-time restructuring schemes without downgrading the quality of the
Quality of
assets.
the assets,
They
yes.
used to sanction this COVID loan and regularize the
Old
old
loan.
Then the
Yeah.
very purpose of sanctioning this
This is-
COVID
yeah,
loan is get
defeated.
defeated. Then again, the default will
Yeah.
continue.
And
So-
additional collateral security they cannot ask as per the scheme guidelines.
And that
Only
also
existing
is a-
collateral security is to be continued.
One thing I wanted to ask is the credit guarantee scheme is there up to 2 crore.
Yeah.
But tell me frankly, 99% of the bankers, they are not
Hesitates.
comfortable with credit guarantee schemes.
Yeah.
They are comfortable only when property is given as a collateral security. Why it is so? What are the problems for the banks if they sanction under credit guarantee scheme? And what are the burden for the borrowers?
As per my opinion, even credit guarantee scheme, we can get the quicker whenever the account goes bad. The reimbursement from the government is quicker also. So viable proposals will be considered. There is no second thought on the viable credit proposals.
Okay. So that means credit guarantee scheme, even last time when your general manager, one Mr. Vinay Bhatt was here, he
Yeah.
told our recovery rate in credit guarantee scheme sanctioned is much better than
Yeah,
taken
true.
with
Yeah, very
collateral,
true, very
because
true.
ultimately appraisal of the proposal is more important than
Yes,
this.
viability of the proposal is more important.
Okay. Now it is time for a break. ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಗೆ ಪಾಸ್.
ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಮಂಕಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಈ ಸಲದ ಬಿತ್ತನೆಗೆ ಸಮಯ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೀಜ ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಕೇಳೋದು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಛೇ, ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಗತ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಬಂಗಾರದಿಂದನೇ ಬೆಳೆ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು.
ಏನ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ? ಬಂಗಾರದಿಂದ ಬೆಳೆ ಬೆಳೆಯಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ?
ಹಾ ಹೌದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಬಂಗಾರನ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಕೃಷಿ ಸಾಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆಭರಣನೂ ಸುರಕ್ಷಿತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಡಿ, ಹಿಂದೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ.
ಹಾ,
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ.
We have one life, one body, one chance. I push my body to its limits. I make choices with long-term benefits. I choose Godama A2 Ghee for my daily nutritional needs. Keeps my heart healthy. I choose Godama A2 Ghee.
We log in when you log out. Now take charge of your health even if you're busy throughout the day. Say goodbye to ailments. Introducing the Evening Clinic by KMC Hospital. Visit the doctor at your own convenience. Let us help you prioritize your health seamlessly. Here's a list of our specialities. Click a picture if you may. Take charge of your health with KMC Hospital. Life's on.
ನೋಡಿ ಸಾವುಕಾರ್ರೆ, ಶಂಕರಣ್ಣ ಈ ಬಾರಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಸಾಲ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ನಡಿ ವಿಚಾರಿಸೋಣ.
ಶಂಕರಣ್ಣ, ಓ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಏನು ನಮ್ ದನಿಗಳ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರು ಹೊಲದ ಕೆಲಸ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಾರಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಿದೆ.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ರೈತ ಮಿತ್ರ KBL ಕಿಸಾನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡಿಂದ. ಕಾರ್ಡು ಒಂದೇ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು ಹಲವಾರು. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿರುವಾಗ ಇನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮಂತ ರೈತರು ಚಿಂತಿಸುವ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಮ್ಮ?
ತಮ್ಮನ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು, ನನ್ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ 15H 15G ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮನೇಲಿ ಕೂತ್ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ನಿನ್ನೆ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಅಂಗಡಿಯವರಿಗೆ ವೆಜಿಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ತರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಚಿಲ್ಲರೆ ಕಾಸು ಕೂಡ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋಮ್ಮ, ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ ನಿನ್ ಕೆಲ್ಸ? ಈಗ ನೋಡು, ಈ KBL ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮನೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ನೀಡುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲವೇ? ಹಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಬದಲಿಸಿ, ಪೇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಲ ಪೇಂಟನ್ನ. ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತವಿದೆ ಅಪೋಲೋ ವಂಡರ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ PU+, ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ಪ್ರೈಮರ್ಲೆಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಎಮಲ್ಷನ್. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಉಳಿತಾಯ, ಮೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಫಿನಿಶಿಂಗ್. ಅಪೋಲೋ ಪೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಾಳಿನ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನು ಇಂದೇ ಮನೆಗೆ ತನ್ನಿ. ಅಪೋಲೋ ಪೇಂಟ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಲವ್ ಅವರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನೆಟ್.
ನಗುವಿನ ಹಬ್ಬ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಹಿಟ್ ಸೀಸನ್, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮೀನೆ
ಶುರುವಾಯ್ತು ಪಂಚ್ಗಳ ವಾರು.
ಟೈಗರ್ ಮುಂದೆ
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಕೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಲಿಸಿ. 60ನೇ ವಯಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಪಕ್ಕಾ ವೃದ್ಧಾಶ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನ ಅವನು.
ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದ ಕಣ. ಮನೇಲಿ ಪ್ರೇಮಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರಾ? ನೀವ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಮನೇಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟರ್. ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಕಿಲಾಡಿಗಳು ಸೀಸನ್ 4 ಇಂದು ರಾತ್ರಿ 9ಕ್ಕೆ.
ಅವರ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಸರದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಇಂದು ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಉಡುಗೊರೆಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಡುವ ಒಂದು ಗಿಡ ಪರಿಸರದ ಹಸಿರನ್ನು ಜೀವಂತವಾಗಿರಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಜನಹಿತಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಜಾರಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ.
ರೀ, ಏನ್ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಸಾಧನೆಯ ದಾರಿಯನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಶ್ರಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸದಿಂದಾನೇ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿತ್ತು.
ಹೌದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅತಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ನೆರವು ನನಗೆ ದೊರಕಿದ್ದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ MSME ಲೋನ್ನಿಂದ. ಇವತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಸಾಧನೆ ಏನೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿದ್ದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನಿಂದ.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ.
ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಾ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಸಮಗ್ರ ಆರೈಕೆ ಒದಗಿಸುವ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಕೇಂದ್ರ. 30ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಿಶೇಷ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವಿಭಾಗಗಳು. ಹೃದ್ರೋಗ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ, ಟ್ರೋಮಾ 24/7 ತುರ್ತು ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ, ಪೀಡಿಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್, NICU, PICU, ತೀವ್ರ ನಿಗಾ ಘಟಕ, ಡಯಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಭಾಗಗಳು. ಅನೇಕ ವಿಮಾ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳ ನೋಂದಣಿ ಹೊಂದಿರುವ 300 ಹಾಸಿಗೆಯ ಸುಸಜ್ಜಿತ ಸೂಪರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್. ಅತ್ಯಾಧುನಿಕ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ಕೃಷ್ಟ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸೇವೆ. ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಾ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್, ಪಂಪುವೆಲ್, ಮಂಗಳೂರು.
ಭೂಮಿಯ ಮೇಲಿನ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಜೀವವು ಬದುಕುಳಿಯಲು ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವಲಂಬಿತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತವೆ. ನೀರೇ ಆಧಾರ. ನೀರನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಜೀವಿಗಳನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಿಸಲು ಇಂದು ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸೋಣ. ನೀರಿನ ಪ್ರತಿ ಹನಿಯೂ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯ. ಅದನ್ನು ವ್ಯರ್ಥ ಮಾಡದಿರಿ. ನೀರನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸಿ, ಜೀವವನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಿಸಿ. ಜನಹಿತಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಜಾರಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ.
ಸುಮಾರು 70 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಂಭ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕಾಲ ಬದಲಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲಿಟ್ಟಿರೋ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಪರಂಪರೆಯಿಂದ ಪರಂಪರೆವರೆಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಮಾರಂಭಗಳಿಗೆ ನೂತನ್ ಕ್ಲಾತ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಮಡಂತ್ಯಾರ್.
ದೇಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಕಣೋ.
ಹೌದು ಕಣು. ಆರ್ಮಿಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆಗೆ
ಪರಿಸರದ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛತೆಯನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಸಣ್ಣ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಸಲಾಗದವರು ದೇಶದ ಸರಹದ್ದನ್ನ ಕಾಯೋ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಹರಾಗ್ತೀರಾ?
ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ. ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಭಾರತ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಜನಹಿತಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಜಾರಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ.
We have one life, one body, one chance. I push my body to its limits. I make choices with long-term benefits. I choose Godama A2 Ghee for my daily nutritional needs. Keeps my heart healthy. I choose Godama A2 Ghee.
ಸಿಗರೇಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಸುಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸುಖ, ಸಂತೋಷ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಉಳಿಸೋದು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೊಗೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಧೂಮಪಾನದಿಂದ ದೂರವಿರಿ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಮುಕ್ತರಾಗಿರಿ. ಸೇ ನೋ ಟು ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೋ, an initiative by Mangalore Institute of Oncology, a special hospital for cancer treatment.
ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟಾನಿಕ್ ಇದರ 185ನೇ ಸಂಚಿಕೆಗೆ ವಿರಾಮದ ನಂತರ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇಂದಿನ ವಿಷಯ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನ್ಹಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟಿಟಿವ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ MSMEs. ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮೂವರು ತಜ್ಞರು. ಶ್ರೀ ರತೀಶ್, ಜನರಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಫ್ರಾಮ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ವಸಂತ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಡ್ಯಾನಿಶ್, ರೀಜನಲ್ ಹೆಡ್, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ರೀಜನ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಂದೇಹಗಳಿದ್ದರೆ 0824411660 ಆರ್ 0824411990 ಕರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇದೇ 24th ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ Saturday, this Saturday. So there is a big mega program that is Nitte KBL MSME Conclave and Business Awards 2022. This is the third consecutive time. Karnataka Bank, that is the main sponsor, and Atal Incubation Center Nitte. So they are jointly hosting this program. Around nearly 300 MSME entrepreneurs are expected to attend from Daksina Kannada, Udupi, as well as other part of the state. So I request all the viewers to spread this news, and almost all entrepreneurs, startups and aspiring entrepreneurs to participate in this program and make the program grand success. The topics covered will be strategies for enhancing the competitiveness of MSMEs, transformation of MSMEs through digital technologies, schemes and incentives for MSMEs, logistics and supply chain management emerging trends, MSME town hall, that is interaction with panel of experts. Then followed by, we have already announced the schedule for this Business Excellence Award ceremony. Nearly 20 to 30 excellent entrepreneurs in various fields, family owned business, let it be best manufacturing enterprise, best service enterprise, innovative enterprise, best CEO, best startup, and best social enterprise, best HR practice, best practice in finance, best practice in operations. Like this, we have various categories of awards also. So those successful MSME entrepreneurs, those who are selected for awards, the colorful, glitterful award ceremony will be also there on the evening in Hotel Ocean Pearl, Navbharat Circle, Mangalore. I request all the MSME units, aspiring MSME entrepreneurs, and B school, all professors and students, and various university representatives to participate in this conclave and make the conclave grand success. This program is mainly sponsored by Karnataka Bank and co-sponsored by Union Bank of India as well as Bank of Baroda. So I request all the viewers to take note of this and make this program grand success. Now this CGT MSc scheme, as told, it is a very popular scheme. Up to 2 crore without collateral bank can fund. In simple, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವುದಾದರೆ ಜಮೀನು ಬೇಡ, ಜಾಮೀನು ಬೇಡ. Correct now? So can you just brief about this CGT MSc scheme?
CGT MSc scheme was formulated by the government to help those entrepreneurs who are having entrepreneurship skills or ideas to do the business, and those who are not having the securities. When they were used to go to the banks were asked to use earlier the securities for the loans given to them. But what we practical experience in banking is that even though the borrower is having the securities to offer, the house and all, they are reluctant to offer, sending a wrong signal for the bankers that they themselves have no confidence on their business, and in turn they can save the CGTMS fees also by giving the securities if they have. If they don't have,
is as low as 1% and as high as in case of retail wholesale trade up to 3% also.
Yeah. So
plus you charge some premium for interest rate also, additional interest.
Yes, so those people who have securities, it is better to give the security so that these charges can be saved and they can increase the profit.
What is the security you expect for the loan?
Around 60%. Minimum 60%. And the second thing is that the proposal should be viable, and the promoter who is coming for the loan should be an experienced one. They will be knowing that I am going to this industry or going to start that industry. If they work in that industry for some time and understand that industry better, book reading or simply seeing is one thing, being involved in that business is another thing. So if they do like that, they will get the necessary experience, so that experience gives a confidence to the banker that he can do good. Third thing is that some of the entrepreneurs, the prime security is created, whatever loan is given under CGT MSC, prime security is created, either it is stock or plant and machineries or whatever may be, the prime security will be there. Even though their business can go loss, but those things they can sell it and still they can repay. Some of the majority of the amounts they can still repay, which the entrepreneurs are not doing it. Through those things, if they build the confidence among the bankers, CGTMSC will help the bank also in growing their business, and also help those entrepreneurs, especially who don't have the securities but having the business ideas with them.
Okay. Now, hybrid CGTMSC scheme is there. Can you just brief about what is that hybrid CGTMSC scheme?
See, CGTMSC cover is applicable a maximum up to the limit of rupees 2 crores.
Correct.
In case of retail trade, different banks have different ceiling limit, but up to 2 crores, a person is not.
No, wholesale trades are also covered.
Wholesale, retail and wholesale trades are also covered, but up to certain limit. But in case of this one, parties, promoters, those who are not in a position to offer the collateral security or third party guarantee is also not required, the accounts are covered under the credit guarantee scheme of CGT MSC. But the fee structure also up to 5 lakhs guarantee fee.
Fee structure, we have the hybrid CGT MSC means. Suppose it is a 2 crore loan is taken.
Yeah.
Next year it requires enhancement. 3 crore.
Yes.
In such cases,
that
1 crore,
can be covered. That amount can be covered. See, for example, parties.
In such case, the collateral offered will have pari passu charge for the CGT MSC loans also.
Yeah. In case party is taking loan of rupees 2.5 crores, he can up to 2 crores can be covered under CGT MSC, and balance 50 lakhs will be covered under collateral
security. Also there, if there is term loan and working capital, working capital can be covered under CGT MSC.
Term loan can be covered under CGT.
So that is
that
the
also can be done.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, during COVID times, many people they were in trouble. Normally, what happens during rain? There is definitely problem. After rain stops also, aftermath effects will be there in COVID. But RBI from 2019 they introduced a one-time restructuring scheme, but suddenly they have now stopped. But actual restructuring scheme is required now. In the absence of RBI one-time restructuring scheme, what is the other avenues for the borrowers and bankers to restructure the loan?
So restructuring is always available wherever it's a viable proposal. Restructuring is
but
there.
Because of the downgrading of the assets, bankers are having apprehension.
Sir, that is only 1 year. After restructuring,
that is correct. But what happens in even performing units, if there is some problem, if 3 months, if they fail to pay the repayment or interest, immediately they go for securitization. That is the problem now.
No, it may not be identical in all the banks. Maybe on a case-to-case basis, depending on the issues.
It is as per the RBI guidelines. 1 year account.
No, I am talking about SURFACE. SURFACE will not happen
maybe depends on
because all avenues are extinguished. Then the banks go for SURFACE, provided there is a security. Otherwise, they don't do it. What happens when an account becomes sticky or there is a problem? The first thing to evaporate is your stock and receivables. If it is a working capital finance, you may not have much avenues left for going for SURFACE. So we evaluate whether SURFACE will create anything. So waiver of legal action. So many other formalities are there. When you talk about this restructuring part, we need to clearly identify what are the reasons which led to the problem of this particular unit. We need to find out whether it is external issues, whether it is an internal issue. If the proper planning stage something has gone bad, the technology which he is using has gone bad, the product which he has chosen to manufacture, if it is not finding takers, these are all the issues. If the raw material
even in the initial stage, if there is implementation, DOCC extension can also be done.
That can be done. And if linkages are not in place, power connection is not there, any of these things, or financial support is not forthcoming, underfinancing is there, any of these issues we need to identify and then evaluate whether if we rectify this, the unit can come up, whether it will become viable, the cash flows will be sufficient to do that. We can think of reducing the loan repayment, elongating the payment structure, change in the interest pattern, funding the interest. All these things are possible provided the unit becomes viable. Restructuring is an elaborate exercise looking into the viability of the unit and the capability of the promoter to set right the imbalances which created this problem in this particular account.
Maybe there is a fracture. You need not have to take the person to graveyard.
No,
you take
not
him
necessary.
to the hospital.
Yes.
Then after some time, that bandage will be removed.
That is called nursing.
Physiotherapy. Then normal course can be done.
So if the bank feels that by giving this kind of benefits, not one, different tools are there, by extending this, if the promoter will be in a position.
So actually, why bankers are scared, I don't know. Even one-time restructuring scheme, earlier initially there was a 5% additional provisioning. Later on that has enhanced to 10%. Normal restructuring scheme only 15%. Only 5% is the variance. So in many cases now it is the need of the hour for the people to go for restructuring. Now this stressed MSME. Now this during COVID time, lot of 3 lakh crore was
given to
package was there. In that our
GECL
was there, 1, 2, then in
Yeah,
that only SMA account is all there. But this stressed MSME account,
that
they have given 50,000 crore, but it is not utilized. Many bankers they are not ready to do. Why? What is the reason?
It is 15% of the limit or maximum of 75%.
15% of the capital and unsecured loan of the on that 15%.
So
many will be given in the form of promoters loan 10 years repayment with up to 3 years holiday.
But here the problem is many people they are not eligible for that 75 lakhs amount. That is the problem. In many cases it's up to the promoter's equity plus this. So many people are not eligible for 75 lakhs.
Even in eligible cases, many people bankers
eligible cases also, many cases because it's 10 years repayment period, up to 7 years, no question of making payment and all. Many banks have not shown interest in giving this subordinate debt, but it's a good scheme drafted by the government. But banker side, I don't think I have seen what is the amount disbursed under subordinate
debt. Even in my
debt.
Practice also, I have come across many.
I could not get the figure.
MSA, I could not get.
I could not get the figure.
Even if it is there, bankers are hesitant.
Even GECL and all, what is the amount disbursed and all you can see. But subordinate debt you cannot see. It is not available.
Okay. Now GECL. There is further dynamism they have introduced to boost more liquidity in the economy. That is on 29th February 2020, 31st March 2021 or 31st January 2022. Whichever is higher, on that you can calculate 30%. And earlier availed amount you can deduct. Remaining balance amount also you can give with the 2 years holiday and the next 3 years repayment. Is it true?
Yeah.
That can be done. So now viewers and MSME entrepreneurs can take note of this. Even if they have availed 2 loans, If the balance in 31st January 2022 is more,
Yeah.
then based on that
Yeah,
they can
whichever is higher.
recalculate balance amount they can avail.
They can avail.
Scheme has been
But it's
extended
extended
up
up to March
March
23.
2023.
There's a timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing. And one beauty in this is it is at lower rate of interest. Second thing is holiday is there.
Yeah.
Then there is no processing fees. Guarantee fees is covered by entirely central government. Then these are the advantages.
100% government guarantee is there.
But the state government stamp duty is not exempted for extension of the mortgage.
The MSMEs can get a special exemption, I think.
No,
from DLG.
MSMEs for only for that
New units,
units
new
and
units.
exempt. For these it is not.
Sir, stamp duty is a small amount.
No.
It is a 0.2%.
It is too much state government here, no. That is the main problem.
Karnataka. But then again, when you look at the load size, that
Loan
0.2
subsidy, it's a point. It is very maximum ceiling is also not there, I think. Upper ceiling is not there. There is a problem. Some lakhs of rupees they have to give as a stamp duty.
Okay. Now, what is the purpose of making this industrial finance branch or MSME branch? How they can focus on these MSME entrepreneurs? Because you have headed many industrial finance branch. What are the advantages?
Sir, it is from various sides. If you see from the bank side, the bank will be providing trained staff in these branches who can identify the requirements, who can understand the language spoken by the intending borrower or the existing borrower. They know the compliances which are required, the type of procedures which need to be followed as far as the conduct or the dispensation of that particular credit is concerned. So that is why handpicked people are posted in industrial finance branches, wherein the total number of staff may be 4 or 5, but that one particular industrial finance branch may be handling business of something like 5,000 crores, 10,000 crores. In fact, our branch, industrial finance branch Bombay, is handling total business of 1 lakh crore in that particular branch itself. So that is the advantage of having industrial finance branch, and the customers will get one-stop solution in that one particular branch. It need not go to various levels, regional office, etc. Straight away from
And
industrial
normally
finance
any
branch.
proposal sent by
Straight it goes to the committee.
IRP in controlling office, fast disposal.
Yes, it will be there. Similarly, in the case of MSMEs, there are trained people in that particular branches, and they know what is to be done, and then the customers also stand to benefit for faster. What happens in normal branches when it goes, if they find a difficulty in processing that particular proposal, they don't know how to send it to the processing hub, there can be delays. So the delays can be avoided. The customers stand to benefit by these particular branches.
Now, ease of doing business.
Yeah.
Now, India in 2014, it was ranking around 123.
Yeah.
Now it has come down to 68.
Yes.
So what are all the initiatives taken by central and state governments for ease of doing
Ease of
business
doing
for
business.
MSMEs? Can you just...
Yeah, one is adopting digitization. This will help the MSME clients in a big way. And the another one is availability of adequate information for the MSMEs. See, particular sector, whether it is doing good or bad.
Now champion portal is also there, Sambandh portal is there, Udyam registration online, GST registration, introduction of GST.
All these informations will be available in the net or as well as for the MSME organizations. And adequate power supply. This preference will be given to the power supply to the MSME units, and some rebate or concession is also there on the electricity bill for the startups and industry which has started in a new industry which is started.
Single window.
Yeah.
Single window.
Yeah. And this tax registration also some simplified procedure is there, I think. Tax registration and other formality. Tax compliance also simplified procedure is there, and availability of infrastructure. Infrastructure availability is also provided by the government. This proper road is not there, means they cannot transport the raw materials properly, or they cannot market the product properly. Industrial estates are connected in the good water and electricity and road facilities. This will help enable the entrepreneur to make their business easy.
Okay. Now, what are the popular schemes for MSME entrepreneurs?
In the banks or?
Banks, government, any?
Now, popular scheme is now during the COVID, this emergency credit line.
That is okay. That is COVID, let us forget other schemes. As I told, PMEGP is there. Now, another is that PM formalization of food processing.
Yeah, food processing unit.
Up to 35 plus in Karnataka 50% subsidy.
Yeah.
Who are all eligible for that?
Food processing units, all food processing units nowadays.
Anywhere, anything without restriction.
Yeah, without any
Even
restriction.
expansion of existing.
Yeah, yeah, existing
both on
also.
term loan and working capital.
Both.
It is a beautiful scheme, no?
Yeah. Most of the units are coming for export segment also, to cater to the export segment in that food processing area.
PMFPY.
Yeah, FPY.
Oh, very nice scheme for this one. Now recently, this educational institutions, earlier educational institutions, that CGT-MSc coverage was not there. Now I think educational institutions are also covered under CGT-MSc scheme.
Under service sector, service activities, certain activities are covered, subject
Now
to compliance of
education
certain guidelines.
Investment and equipment criteria.
Now all educational institutions also, they can think it is coming under MSME, and they can get working capital also. If they have collateral, there is no problem. Even they can be covered under CGT-MSc. Earlier it was not there. Education institutions
are earlier non-priority. Now after the revision of this definition, that equipment cost will be taken into consideration, and service activity. Moreover, education institution is a service activity, and it is covered under CGT-MSc.
Now Karnataka State Industrial Policy.
Yeah.
That is 2019, this 20 to 25. Lot of dynamism has come in that new policy. Can you just brief?
Some subsidy to agriculture sector and this credit linked capital subsidy scheme up to some 35% or a maximum amount of 15%.
And zone 1, zone 2, zone 3.
Like that they
based
have
on micro, small and medium enterprises.
Tax concessions and electricity bill concessions and some stamp duty concessions. All these things are there as per that new
subsidy. I think in small enterprises, general entrepreneurs up to 90 lakhs, special entrepreneurs up to 1 crore 5 lakhs. There is a subsidy eligibility for small entrepreneur. Micro up to 25 lakhs. Then medium scale industries also there is
up to 60 lakhs. I have seen that. I am not aware of that 1 crore 5 lakh.
Export processing zones have been set up for, especially for those units who can do that with zero tax at that area for the next 5 years.
Can you just brief about this ECGC coverage for exporters?
Sir, exports being an identified area for the government as well as the country as a whole, various support mechanisms have been put in place. Export Credit Guarantee Corporation is something like a third party which is providing support to the units as well as the banks. There are two things: there is guarantees there, and then policies
both
there.
For post shipment and
pre-shipment it is there. The banks take whole turnover policies, guarantees, WPCG, and the borrowers, they can take specific buyer-wise policies to cover the risk in cross-border risk involved inside any particular buyer, overseas buyer. So these are all very user-friendly schemes.
But in product defect and certain cases, now in China, because of our cold war between China and India, now many seafood export units.
No, that doesn't come into the picture, because what happens, the banks, ECGC, we deal in documents. We do not deal in the product. So tomorrow somebody raises an issue on the quality of the product, that cannot be done. But then again, defaults by the overseas buyer are made good by the ECGC, and it is a very good scheme, and the ECGC supports the claim settlement also in very fast mechanism.
Not like our CGT-MSc.
Okay, now we have very little time to wind up. Before that, can you just what are the bullet points for enhancing competitiveness of MSMEs?
So the name of the program itself, the strategies. Strategies have to be well identified by the promoter for any successful unit to happen. So the strategy for the conceptualizing this particular unit, how each and every component is being brought inside, what is the cost factor, how accounting is done, how information is given to the banks, how information is given to other stakeholders, how purchases are identified, how the customers are identified, what is the credit period which is being done. These are all the strategies which they need to do it. Plus, as for support for MSMEs, there is a specific TREDS portal is there, their receivables can be funded. We are a leading player in TREDS portal. We are supporting the the supplies made by MSMEs, we are paying upfront immediately with of those buyers who are registered in the TRIPS platform. It is a bidding mechanism, and the lowest interest rate is accepted, and the money is paid to the MSME. On due date, the buyer, the large industry, pays to the bank. It is a very smooth process. The next support which the bank is providing is vendor financing and mechanism. It is outside the trust mechanism, but vendor any vendor supplying material, if the anchor company is ready to take this, the vendors are paid off immediately, and that too at a cost effective interest rate. It is being done.
Now this Bharat Petroleum,
Yes,
Indian Oil,
all
all this
those-
they are tied up with the banks
Yes,
for
with banks.
funding.
So
and many vehicle dealers are also, they are inventory funding.
That
they
is
are
as far as
doing.
trading.
Channel financing.
But in major fertilizer companies or pharmaceutical companies, the vendors play a very major role, and the vendors are paid off, and we are targeting to expand this to a large extent, and vendors are being funded pan-India basis to do this particular. This is one of the strategies. From the promoter side, they need to do the homework without copying something from somebody else. Somebody else is a successful product, he also comes with a successful. No, it is not like that. It will not happen. They need to do the proper homework, proper tie-up mechanisms, linkages, raw material or the sale. Most important part, sir, credibility is required. Any borrower which is coming inside any unit, they should have credibility. They should have acceptance of their products by the customers. Post-sale service, they need to see that. Once the product is sold, if they forget and they don't support the buyer, the market will spread the news, and this particular player will lose the standing in the market. So they need to take care of all these matters. These are all the strategies which they need to put in place, and the counterparty should know that he is a long-term player. He is here to stand. If those mechanisms are put in and it is known by the people, the unit will succeed.
So
If it is-
everything built on trust.
Trust, and they should trust. Trust factor is very, very important. The banker should have trust, his customers should have trust, his suppliers should have trust, and the payment mechanism should be in place, and on time the payment should happen, the collection should happen. Otherwise, this should be, and he should have any promoter. Promoters may be technocrats, they may not be knowing the accounting background. As a chartered accountant, you may be knowing this. They need somebody to manage the finances. If it is not done, how the money is coming, how the money is going, what is the cost involved, there should be somebody.
Monthly balance sheet and next monthly budget.
They should clearly see how the cash flow is happening,
Now,
from where it is.
what is your just bullet points?
Yeah, my bullet point, see, SMEs, proper flow of credit is not there. They are lacking technology, and sometimes they are facing difficulty in getting raw materials also. And managerial problem is also there in MSMEs. These problems have to set right. But government or banks will provide at least technology support to the MSME customers. They should conduct the survey of the unit, why this unit is having problem, and proper guidance will be given to the customers.
Survey for the survival.
Yeah, survey for the survival.
Sir,
yes.
one more thing is
Some-
that MSMEs can note, raw materials they can procure from National Small Industries.
small industry.
NSIC has
We have already done all these schemes.
and they can sell their products in GEM portal, government e-market.
And
We have done that program also.
Program you have done.
Okay.
Then one more 1, 2, 3 points are left. Involvement of stakeholders. In many cases, MSMEs stakeholders are not bothered. So that is also one of the problem. Send this venture capital assistance. This many people, they are not aware of the venture capital assistance from SFAC, Small Farmers Agriculture Consortium. So 26% of the margin money is
And
available.
these family-owned enterprises and others,
Yeah.
instead of traditional partnership, proprietorship, they can float private limited companies,
LLCs,
LLCs, and they can expand.
Expand.
Okay. Now, what are your bullet points? Finally.
We next MSMEs for their further growth, they have to invest on ESG, that is environmental, social and corporate governance standards. Because most of the MNCs have set a standard in the next 5 years. They have to be ESG complacent company. So they will not be sourcing a product which is not from entity which is not ESG compliant.
Okay.
Now itself they have to start the process, and they have to be in place. And quality goods should be produced at a competitive rate. That should be the phenomena.
Quality should not be compromised.
Quality should not be compromised. And most of the for the export segment, certification is required. So your manufacturing unit should be certified by
ISO, ISI.
International standards, of course, for the Indian, if they are serving as per the ISO standards, and if they are international, they want to move to international segment, European standards they have to adopt, European or American standards they have to adopt to procure the materials.
Okay. So now it is time to wind up. Before winding up, I am very proud that all the 3 expert bankers, you have shared your expertise and thoughts with our viewers. On behalf of all our viewers, I thank Shri Ratish, General Manager, Union Bank of India, for being with us and sharing your noble thoughts, and Shri Vasant Shetty, banking expert, for you also. On behalf of all the viewers, I thank you. And Shri Danish, Regional Head, Karnataka Bank Regional Office, Bangalore.
Thank you.
I also thank you on behalf of all the viewers. As I already told, to brief, 5 M's, that is management, money, manpower, materials, then marketing. These 5 aspects one entrepreneur has to be well acquainted. If any one M is spoiled, the entire their unit will get spoiled.
Yes.
Therefore, they should be aware. To sum up, there is one Subhashita, and even every entrepreneur, when they make money, they should not divert funds also. And business expenditure, only they should always control, and to the bare minimum what is badly required, and instead of making lavish expenditure. There is a Subhashita from Chanakya. What he says, Shanashaha Kanashashchaiva Vidyam Artancha Sadayet Shanenaste Kuto Vidya Kanenaste Kuto Dhanam. That means Shanashaha Kanashashchaiva, Shanashaha, even single second we should not waste. Kanashashchaiva, even single penny we should not waste. Then Vidyam Artancha Sadayet, we can achieve whatever we want, whether it is money, monetary, or it is skill. Shanenaste Kuto Vidya, if you waste your time, where you will learn? And Kanenaste Kuto Dhanam, if you waste money, lavishly you spend, where you can mobilize the resources. So with this small note, today this Karnataka Bank Business Tonic, enhancing the competitiveness of MSMEs, strategies and solutions. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಮ್ಮ ಇವತ್ತು ಗೋಧಾಮ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೂವರು ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೂ ಸಮಸ್ತ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಾ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್? ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟಾನಿಕ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮರುಪ್ರಸಾರ ಇದೇ ಬುಧವಾರ ರಾತ್ರಿ 9:30 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ 24/7 ಚಾನಲಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯವಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು, ಸಮಸ್ತ ಸನ್ಮಂಗಳಾನಿ ಭವಂತು ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾವ ಕೆಲ್ಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಮ್ಮ?
ತಮ್ಮನ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು, ನನ್ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ 15H 15G ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮನೇಲಿ ಕೂತ್ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ನಿನ್ನೆ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಅಂಗಡಿಯವರಿಗೆ ವೆಜಿಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ತರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಚಿಲ್ಲರೆ ಕಾಸು ಕೂಡ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋಮ್ಮ, ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ ನಿನ್ ಕೆಲ್ಸ? ಈಗ ನೋಡು, ಈ KBL ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕೆಲ್ಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮನೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.